Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Mogbe in Lagos. On the show tonight, we'll be talking about the new format of the UEFA Champions League. Before now, you have the group stage, but right now, after the draw tonight, or rather, at some point early this year or late last year, that was when it was announced that you're going to be having a new format. And after the draw was done tonight, so the Champions League format will now be in the league form, no longer the group stage. All the 36 teams will play 8 teams, in the league formats. They'll play against 8 teams, home and away. And then you have the top 8 getting into the round of 16. The ones that from 9th to 24 will definitely play a knockout stage, and then they get into the round of 16. It's a whole lot. We'll break it down on the show tonight. And also, we'll talk about Samson Siasia. Yes, he is back. He's ready to coach again after the FIFA ban. It's been lifted. It was for 5 years. It expired. So Siasia is back in the squad. And Brandon Day, what's he saying about players who wants to go to Saudi Arabia? Is it a good move or not? You hear from him on this show. And yes, we'll talk about the D Tigers. You have, for the first time in the history of basketball in Africa, you have a team from Africa actually in the top 10 of the FIBA World Ranking. And D Tigers happens to be the one that nicked it. They are now ranked 8th in the world. We'll talk about that. And also the stories coming out from one of the assistant coaches who happens to be the daughter of Akim Olajuwon was with the team in Paris. And of course, she has been talking about what's currently going on concerning salaries on page and the way some of the players were treated. Yes, we'll just touch down on that, and we'll try as much as possible to bring her on the show, on our show. All right, Austin is around. Yes, Austin, are you ready?
So, Cecilia, I was born ready. Sporting greetings to you and our viewers joining us from different parts of the world. Always an action-packed world of sports. Football is a funny business, So when the talks about the Super League was introduced, everyone said, no. But Cecilia, look closely. Isn't this a soft version of the Super League? More football y'all want. And the UEFA Champions League has said, okay, we'll give a new format where you see more football.
More games, right? Overload for the teams. They are not talking about that here because Seferin is definitely happy with what he is currently doing. And of course, talk about the Paralympics. Yes, as usual, our Paralympians have started on a bright note. Yeah, you say misfortunes for the teams. Well, so much more to talk about on the show tonight. Of course, we'll be having Bolarinwa Olajide join us from Canada. And right here in the Lagos studio, we have Babajide Oreva joining us on the program. Good evening. It's great to have you join us.
Thank you, Cecilia. Thanks for having me once again. The Champions League is back, so football is back.
Okay, football is back. Champions League is back. I love the fact that Austin mentioned the Super League. When I was watching, we'll look at the phase any moment from now. But when I was watching the Champions League, there was an insert that was played while the draw was going on. It was more like, I don't know if they were trying to actually mock the Super League. There was a point where Seferin was talking to Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He was talking about the new format of the Champions League and what they've achieved so far. And they said the Champions League is so big, and it was almost mentioning the Super League. And Seferin had to cut him short there. There's nothing like Super League. What you have is the Champions League. As Austin, we're going to start off from here because, when we were watching the draw, most of us were confused. What are they trying to do? And I love the fact that they had to bring technology into it. If not, I don't know how that table will look like. Having different balls and all that. You have 36 teams. So that's the technology that they had to, the app they had to, introduce, where you just have to tap it, and then the teams, those pot 1 or pot 2 will pop up. Cristiano Ronaldo was the one who did that. I know you watched that insert, the advert that ran while it was going on. Yeah. What was Seferin as Zlatan and Buffon? What were they trying to portray there?
See, it's straightforward. It's to put out that conversation that I tried to lead with my introduction, that people will start asking questions. Is this not the Super League that we didn't want back in the day, But I think at the same time, they try to mock it. But the fact that Zlatan mentioned it in a way they know that football fans will ask the questions. Pot one has got teams that are UEFA Champions League title holders. Pot two, those that have high rankings, and then 3, 4, just go on to scatter teams around. But then again, what the Super League wanted to do then is to put football in the hands of the clubs. The clubs are going to play more football matches now. They will generate more money. Yes, I know UEFA will get a lot of, commercial activities out of this format, but the clubs also gain, and the big teams, they will find a way to see ways that they will actually make good money out of this. And if you look at the road for some of the teams, even in England, for instance, you can tell that there will be a lot of activities going on. Look, this is football. We know it is big business. FIFA, UEFA, CONCACAF. We're all waiting for CAF to join in and see ways that we can bring proper business into it. And at the end of the day, if you look at what they're doing with this new format, for the clubs to agree. Now, you see, no club has come out to say, oh, we're playing too much football. We have the league and you're doing this. That's because they have seen that there are benefits inside for them, So that's what it does. Money stops nonsense, and that's what football is doing every day. You look at when Qatar was to host the World Cup, we said, no, what is this? We loved seeing the World Cup during the summer. We had the World Cup in December, and it is the highest it was the highest that has generated revenue ever in the history of the FIFA World Cup. It's money, baby.
It's all about the money. I think the plus $86 million, that's what the winner might just go home with. That's how much it is in the Champions League. We'll bring in Bolariwa Olajide joining us from Canada to talk about this. Bolariwa, if you're ready to join us, yes, the Champions League, we've been talking about it, the new format. We're expecting so much, and now we'll finally see what this new format is all about. Is in league form, 36 teams from the 32 that usually we had previous competitions. And Seferin said he was going to make changes, and of course, we've seen the changes being made. Is this a good thing for these clubs? They're going to be playing 8 teams before they move to the round of 16. Before now, it's just you play home and away, 3 teams. Play home and away, that's 6, but now it's 8. Is it going to have more? I don't know how to put it now, because players will actually complain at the time playing too many games. But now you have Champions League bringing in more games because you have more teams coming into the Champions League.
Well, I think for me, overall, it's a brilliant idea for the competition. And Austin rightly mentioned, people, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and the likes clamored for the Super League. The fans opposed it. And this has surely forced UEFA's hand to introduce a new format that will see teams play more games and top quality matches. But the best part for me about this draw is that we no longer have the situation where you finish third in your group and then you crash into the Europa League. Now, if you don't make it in the first 8 and you don't make it in the knockout phase, then you are totally eliminated from the competition. So the most important part is money. It's all about the money. And the clubs will be happy that they can make more money. The players will not be happy that they will be playing more games. But in the end, they are all under the club, and they'll have to do what their contract says, which is to play football matches as long as they are available. And Austin says something about the clubs not complaining or the players not complaining that this new format is coming in. Well, they don't have a choice. They are all under UEFA. So as long as you are under UEFA, whatever UEFA brings, you have to follow. But I like the fact that UEFA have also been strategic. They made sure that they put up an idea that is similar to the Super League. Yeah. So you don't really have any reason to want to join the Super League in the future. Remember, the Super League hasn't gone away. Yeah. There's still a case in court where, or a case that they can still maneuver and say, we want to fund the Super League in the future. But what they've done is to make sure that it won't happen, because there's a league format, there are more games, and of course, 8 matches guaranteed for all teams. That's money to be made by the club. So it's still confusing. I would be lying to you if I tell you that I've totally grasped the way it's going to go. It's still confusing. But the best thing is just make sure you, if you follow Arsenal or Manchester City, check out the games your clubs will play, and then you have an idea. But it's going to grow on us. At some point, we'll all get a hold of it and understand it. But, it's a good idea. It's bigger, more matches, top quality matches, and we should enjoy it. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, matter of time. We'll get used to it. Babaji, do you agree with what Austin and, of course, Bolarin are actually in the same port right now?
Okay.
Pot 1. You want to join them in pot 1 or pot 2?
No. Okay, so the thing is, the idea of Super League, it has brought about this innovation.
Yes.
That's how I see it. And but I'm concerned that UEFA didn't really explain this to the fans, because this is a game that is seen everywhere in the world. Okay, we have 4 pots. A team is drawn by a player, which Ronaldo did. Then the computer AI will bring out two teams from each group. So you are going to play 2 teams from your pot. 2 teams. This will bring about quality, because now you want to see. It means, okay, Real Madrid, Liverpool, they are playing. Yeah. Real Madrid Liverpool will host Real Madrid, but they will not be going to Spain to play. So now it's more of business. This is now business kind of football. Austin said, and it's true, players will actually complain because they might want, this is more games. Of course, they will still be playing their own domestic competitions as well. So to have all these, and it's a whole lot. But I like the fact that now, like Bolarin said, no more, you won't be third, then you go to the Europa, then you now go and win the title. Once you're out, you're out.
All right, let's take a look at it. Let's try as much as possible to break it down for you guys to understand what we're trying to say. We'll just take a look at the draws the way it is. That's the league phase draw that we have. Now, if you look at, I think I'll stand this way so that you all will understand what we're trying to do right here. Now, if you go to pot 1, where you have Real Madrid is going to play Borussia Dortmund. They'll play Borussia Dortmund at home. They'll play Liverpool away. They'll play AC Milan home, play Atalanta away, play Salzburg home, and play Lille away, and play Stuttgart home, and of course Brest away. That's what it's like. Then you come to Manchester City. Manchester City would be playing Inter Milan at home, play PSG away, play Club Brugge home, Juventus away, Feyenoord home, Sporting Lisbon, Sparta Praha, and Bratislava. That's how it goes like that. Then you come to Bayern Munich, they'll be playing PSG at home, but they won't play them away. Then they'll play Barcelona away, play Benfica at home, Shakhtar away, Dynamo Kiev away, home, Feyenoord away. Of course, you have Aston Villa away. Then you come to PSG. PSG will be playing Manchester City at Etihad. At Stade de France, but they will not be playing them at Etihad. They'll play Bayern Munich away. Atletico Madrid, of course, will play them at home. They'll play Arsenal away, play PSV home, play Salzburg away, Girona and Stuttgart. Then you come to Liverpool. Liverpool, of course, will be playing Real Madrid at home, and then playing Leipzig away, Leverkusen home, AC Milan away, Lille home, PSV, Bologna, and of course Girona. So that's what it's like. So this is the format of the UEFA Champions League, and that's what we all have been talking about. I hope with time, as Bolarin mentioned, it's something that our fans will get used to. All you have to, by Saturday, they will be releasing the date for it, but Tuesdays and Wednesday remains the time where the UEFA Champions League will be played. So you take a look at this one, you understand that yes, teams will be playing. You have games at home, 4 games at home, and 4 games away. So that's what it's looking like. Move over to other teams. Inter Milan, for instance, will be playing Leipzig. They'll play Manchester City, Arsenal, Leverkusen, Young Boys, Monaco, and Sparta Praha. You go to Dortmund, we'll be playing Barcelona, Real Madrid. Now, this is what everyone will be looking forward to. Shakhtar, Club Brugge, Celtic, and of course, Sturm Graz and Bologna. Come to Leipzig, they'll be playing Liverpool, Inter Milan, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, Sporting, Celtic, Aston Villa, and Sturm Graz. And Barcelona will be playing Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Atalanta, Benfica, Young Boys. You have Brest, and of course, Monaco. So this is what it's like in the UEFA Champions League. Yes, so many games that everyone is looking forward to. Yes, you also come to Leverkusen. They'll be playing Inter Milan, Liverpool, AC Milan, Atletico Madrid, Salzburg, Feyenoord, Sparta Praha, and Brest. They've come to Atletico Madrid playing Leipzig, Paris Saint-Germain, Leverkusen, Benfica, Lille, Salzburg, and Sparta Praha. The Atalanta playing Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Shakhtar Donetsk, Celtic, Young Boys, Sturm Graz, and Stuttgart, and Juventus who play in Manchester City, Leipzig, Benfica, Club Brugge, PSV, Lille, Stuttgart, and Aston Villa. And of course, you have Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Feyenoord, and of course, you have Inter Milan. And so this is what it's like in the new format of the UEFA Champions League. There's so many, Austin, I mean, you're trying to chip in here. We're trying to just break it down and see home and away, but you won't have a club playing the same team twice like you see at the group stage. So this is the league format, just home and away. And if the team with the highest points, the top 8 teams will get directly into the round of 16. Then from 9th to 24th, we'll play the knockout phase. We'll play the knockout phase. And those who qualify will join them in the round of 16. And the team from that bottom down will exit the Champions League. There is no room for Europa League anymore. So that's what it's like in the UEFA Champions League.
Radical changes, radical. I think you've said everything. Let me just mention that, because some people will be wondering, how come they didn't see Liverpool playing Arsenal? So they put a rule that if you're from the same member association, you don't play yourself. And that's very, very important. So it's basically teams we play, I think in this league phase, 8 fixtures, and then it's more football, as I said at the start. Let's just wait for the draw to be done completely. Teams will welcome these because yes, it's good money for them. Bolariwa reminded me that they are professionals, and since they have to get the job done, they're not complaining. Bolariwa, there are some bonuses and clauses that are included in these sort of things that they won't tell us, to come out to say. Players, I tell you,
absolutely,
we'll be so loving it. And what a way to welcome teams like Aston Villa and Bologna into the league, and Manchester United, Bolariwa's team, will be saying, what a time to miss out of a big opportunity to make money.
Chelsea.
At some point, United will have to find themselves back into the Champions League. Hopefully, they finish in the top 4 from England, then they get to play. But teams like United, we've seen seasons where they didn't even play in Europe, and they were still able to make a lot of money.
That's right.
They are the most followed football club in the world. But of course, playing in the Champions League means they make more money. So it's going to be interesting. You said my club, it's our club. We both support Manchester United. So do not. I don't know about
that, Bolariwa.
Don't forsake us. But you know what? Okay.
But your point you are making, and I think in all of these analyses, I try to bring CAF into it because you can check football associations. They are looking at ways now that they can actually bring money into football because there are loads of it in there. You just talked about Manchester United not even playing the Champions League yet. They find ways that they will make money. I keep telling people, when you go to some stadiums in England, the moment you walk in, you just start seeing business. You see opportunities. In fact, from Wembley Park train station, when you come out of the station and you see Wembley, from that view, all you are seeing is business. Now, start thinking in Africa.
Well, it's something that we should start doing at some point. But it's passion has to play a part to start with. Most Africans, they, in as much as they want to, but the purchasing power is not as much as what we get in England, for example. You just mentioned something. You go to any stadium, not just United or Wembley Stadium, any stadium in England, match day, it's all about money.
That's right.
From the train station down to the stadium, you just keep seeing money, because it's a match day and they make money a lot. We still have a long way to go in Africa, a very long way. I hope that we get there, but the day we start seeing football as business, as a money-making machine, then we should be able to get there. But before I forget, I wanted to say something about the new format of the UEFA Champions League. I think the best parts. At some point, when Cecilia was about to tell us how it goes, I'm like, good luck in explaining, because even the best of us are still trying to get a hold of how the competition is run. But I think the best... but I think the best part of the competition that we may all get to enjoy is when they get to the knockout phase. Not the round of 16. That's from 9 to 24. The teams that finish from 9 to 24. Now, they now have to knock themselves out. I think that's where it's going to be very interesting because it will no longer be in the league format when they play home and away. Now you just have to knock the other team out to progress to the round of 16. So I think that part will be very exciting. The top teams will definitely, well, on paper, the top teams should be able to finish in the top two, at least get into the first 8, the top 8 to play in the round of 16. But you see that second stage where they have to now fight to get to the round of 16. And that's where they
And Bolariwa, the way you explain is like when you give a knock to a child and you run home to cry. You're out. That's it. That's for tonight on Channels Television. Let's go on this quick break. When we come back, Babajide is in Lagos with Cecilia. We'll get his views. It's all about this new format of the UEFA Champions League. We'll talk more when we come back. Don't go anywhere. Stay. Welcome back, Sports Tonight on Channels Television. A new format has been announced for the UEFA Champions League. We've seen teams and how they're going to go about the business. We're waiting for the draw to be done, and then we'll come back to talk about it. Babajide Oreva is in Lagos with my colleague Cecilia Omorogbe. Babajide, I think we've said everything. If there's anything to add, what is it?
Okay, so for me now, you don't see enough minnows. Teams will actually fight to get into the knockout phase. You want to say, okay, AC Milan will be hosting Liverpool, but they won't be going to England to play. So they will be hosting, they will be playing away at Real Madrid. It won't mean Real Madrid will go to England. So it's going to be a tough, very tough competition. And now you need, in the previous format, you see teams, okay, three opponents, then you play knock home and away format. But now you are going to play a stretch. You are playing 8 teams, home and away, 4 games at home, 4 games away, and it's going to be a lot because now you are seeing big teams facing each other. Not unlike when you just have maybe
that's right.
A big team playing 2-3, but now you are playing a stretch. So that's where I this is the part I like most.
Okay. All right. I mean, we can spend the whole show to try to explain this new format of the Champions League, something we'll get a hold of as it continues. But quickly, let's talk about something that happened before the draw was done in Monaco. Cristiano Ronaldo, we all know, is the highest goal scorer, the top scorer in the UEFA Champions League. Of course, on the 9th, he was actually honored by the UEFA president, Alessandro Ceferin. He was given the all-time goal scorer award in the UEFA Champions League. And he wasn't just the only one that was awarded. Gianluigi Buffon, former Juventus player, former Italian international, he was also awarded the 2024 UEFA President's Award. And of course, that was a big one for him also. The Presidential Award for Buffon, and of course, all-time goal scorer award in the UEFA Champions League for Cristiano Ronaldo. How many goals?
140 goals.
Okay, that's it. Break it if you can. Bolariwa, what do you think of this one before I let you go? Cristiano Ronaldo, all smiles. He's not playing the Champions League anymore, but then he was invited to get that award.
Well, I'm happy that UEFA were able to bring in Cristiano Ronaldo to be part of the draw and also receive his award. And Cecilia, you said something about breaking his goal scoring record. 140 goals is a lot, but whenever I see goals or hear goals, I just remember Erling Haaland. If he continues with the momentum, with the way he scores goals regularly for Manchester City, he may just get close to that figure. I'm not sure if he will be able to surpass it, but he may just be the one to get close to that figure because the Manchester City side is born to create goals for attackers, and Haaland has shown that he can be very prolific in front of goals. So it's going to be tough to break. The standard has been set by Cristiano Ronaldo, deservedly, because he's done so much for the clubs he played for in Europe. But yeah, one day you just feel that one player might just be able to break it. And just before I go as well, I like the presentation from UEFA today when it comes to the Champions League draw. I never knew Zlatan didn't surprise me the way he acted. Zlatan didn't surprise me, but the person that surprised me the most was actually the UEFA president, Sheffield. I could not believe I mean, the script was good, but they delivered it perfectly. It was just like a movie, and I would love to see something like this replicated in Africa. Hopefully, we get there.
Okay, Bolariwa, thank you so much for taking our time to join us on the show tonight.
Of course, thank you.
All
right, you love it. I love that film, and of course, as he said, hopefully we can replicate it in Africa. We'll get into the Paralympics segment right away. All right, misfortunes for Team Nigeria today. Yes, in badminton, it started well, but table tennis in the doubles where you're facing China, and you understand what that means. We'll just run through the results of what happened earlier today and also take a look at, the fixtures for Friday. Yes, we're starting off with para badminton in Group B. For the women's singles, Eniola Bolaji defeating Kwa Mandip of India 2-0, 21-8 and 21-14, and that was a good one for her. So for Friday's schedule, she will be up against Arella Avinot of Australia. Hopefully she can, get a good result out of this. Still the group stage, talking about para badminton. Let's leave this one and quickly go to other events for Team Nigeria that happened today. Go to Group C for the men's singles, staying with para badminton. Jeremiah Nana beating Marcel Adam of Germany, and then 2-0 also, 21-12 and 21-15. And for Friday's schedule for the men's singles in para badminton, we have Freddie Siama will be up against Jeremiah Nana, of course. That's the game we'll be expecting in that Group C for the men's singles. Now, para table tennis here in the men's doubles in the round of 16, you have Jianzi Wang and Wani Peng beating Nigeria duo of Kayode Alabi and Victor Farinloi of Nigeria ended 3-0, and of course Joshua Stacey and Blair Tonwe of Great Britain also beating Kayode Alabi and Faith Bazuayi 3-1. So this is what is not really looking good. But para badminton started so well for Team Nigeria. Yes, when we talk about Paralympics, we know that yes, Nigeria always medals are always what we look forward to. Austin, it started on a good note for para badminton, but for table tennis in the doubles event, when you're facing a team like China, I think the numbers of athletes that they brought to is about 200 and something athletes are competing in this event. The last one in Tokyo, I think China won about 90 gold medals in. Okay, yes, that was how many medals they won in the last one. But Nigeria, we just have 25 athletes or 24 athletes from Nigeria at the Paralympics.
It tells the story, Cecilia. I was having a conversation with a friend in Bangladesh today. He's a journalist, and he was telling me that the power play you see in the world, where if the United States wants to do something to stamp the authority, you'll see China there, you'll see Germany there, you'll see Russia, you'll see big countries. They are taking it into sports. So at the end of the Olympics, go and look at the medals table and see that these guys are not playing to stay relevant. I was looking at the contingent from Italy yesterday when they were fighting out for the opening ceremony. Gracious goodness. And it tells you that countries are using this opportunity with power sports to empower people who struggle with mobility or who are physically challenged, or people who life was so difficult, they felt like they were down and out, but sports has given them reasons to smile. So those countries, they empower, these persons. And that's what I want to see us doing in Nigeria with our population. We shouldn't be going to the Paralympics with 24 athletes, but it is what it is. And each time our para-athletes have an opportunity to compete, they always give their best. And that's why with these guys, look, I've been preaching it on my socials that all of them are champions, for coming out, look, people who are 100% fit, all right, in Nigeria, they are complaining. You're talking about people on wheelchair, people who probably lost their arm, a leg. They still put themselves together, push the mental stress and struggles away to represent the country. They are already champions, And I saw the game between the mixed doubles for Kayode Alabi and Faith Bazwaye. I know Faith so well. She's a champion all day, every day. Kayode also a champion all day, every day. His wife is with him at the Paralympics. Yeah. I was hoping that they would tell a beautiful love story if they team up and play the mixed doubles. But with these Paralympians, these are the sort of stories we hear. Yeah. For instance, Bolaji, just before, at the start of this year, nobody knew Miriam and her badminton. She went to Spain, did the impossible, transformed not just her life, the story of badminton, got people talking about her today. She's ranked world number 2. I love the story with para athletes. Sometimes when I talk about them, I get emotional and get soaked eyes. I love it when I see them. I love it when I see them do their thing. And when they win and when they don't even win, they are telling us inspiring stories. So congratulations to all of our para athletes that competed today at the Paralympics. I know they'll bounce back stronger.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Babajide, monitoring the Paralympics started today, of course. Team Nigeria. Games today, not a good one for table tennis. But then
a mixed results mixed results for us today. But we need to commend the Paralympians. They've been amazing over the years since 1992. 80 medals, 40 gold medals, and they've always come back home with medals. So I expect them to also still do something. Unlike what we had in the main Olympic Games, I expect them. It's tough when someone is challenged, especially physically challenged, and then they still put themselves together to still strive to fight for the nation. And we only need to thank them. We need to commend them. And I also hope they won't come back with the same stories that unpaid days, unpaid that. I just want things to happen properly for them.
Yeah, that's what we're expecting, things happening properly for them. We end the Paralympic segment now, and of course, after this short break, we will be talking about the Tigress. Of course, Samson Siasia is still on the show. Yeah, I know everyone will be celebrating because of the historic moment for basketball in Africa. Because of what the Tigress did at the Olympics, they are now ranked number 8 in the world, climbing 4 places. They were 12th at the time they went into it, but right now they are 12th. They are 8th in the world. Now, you just look at the top 10, the FIBA World Ranking. You look at the top 10, and then you'll see Nigeria. I don't know how proud most of you are, especially those who follow basketball. Now, you have USA, of course. We know they are always there. Everyone has actually, stayed put and given that position to them. But Australia is chasing them. You have France, you have China, Spain, Belgium, Canada dropping down. Nigeria, of course, 8th. Serbia, Japan. Before now, we're looking at the top 10, both in the men and women. In terms of basketball, you don't see any African team in the top 10. So for the first time, historical moment for everyone, of course, for the Tigress. But the stories that comes out after, we know you want to celebrate, but sometimes when you hear stories, coming out from camp and you talk about the assistant coach, talking about, what Abi Olajuwon was talking about, especially the assistant coach, she's posted on social media since morning. She didn't like what actually transpired. But hey, we have to celebrate this historic moment for an African team, making it into the quarterfinals of the Olympics. They lost to USA by, small margin. And the fact that, climbing 4 places because of that, that's something we should be celebrating and see how it can actually reflect on home front.
I said it before, to defeat Canada and then Australia, the women's basketball, it's not a joke. And you feel sad for the Amukamaras, you feel sad for the Ezine. You saw how passionate they delivered. They were practically fighting for the nation at the Olympics. And then somehow USA defeated them. They crashed out in the quarterfinal. But then the sad story is they are not properly paid, or this same scenario. It's just appalling that we this thing keeps playing out. But we need to celebrate the fact that now they are in the top 10. It's not a joke. This is Nigeria, and we need to celebrate moments like this. It's a good one for us.
A good one for us. I mean, Austin, when the ranking came out today, I mean, I know you were, happy about it. No African team, male or female, have ever been ranked this high. The Tigers already have a record right there.
Yeah, I think it was during the Olympics, we already had the hint that they're going to be world number 8. And that was when I was already telling people to put some respect
to
on their name. They need to teach the world how to overcome adversity. This team, they've been through all sorts. Look, Cecilia, if they are to beat Diamond the way this team have received some beating psychologically, the Diamond will come out the best ever, shining for life. But somehow they find ways to just stay relevant, do the impossible. Shout out to Coach Reina and the things she has brought into the team. I don't like the ugly tales coming out of the Olympics from the assistant coach, but it is what it is. These things aren't new, but we must find a way to just stop it. 4 places into 8 sports. It tells a story that we must sustain this sort of momentum. Whatever it is that we've done that has, put us where we are now with women's basketball, we must sustain it and find ways to also do the same thing for the male team, so it can rub off. I like what's also happening. I think it's at the under 18 level where they are beating teams like they caught them stealing in the market square. Those sort of achievements, we must sustain them. Let these guys grow up and come into the senior men's team or the senior women's team, and let basketball in Nigeria keep winning. Fantastic! Congratulations once again to the D Tigers, record-breaking team, first African team ever, male or female, to reach the quarterfinals at the Olympics. First African team now to be ranked in the top 10. I think the sky is just the starting point for this team if we do the right thing, Cecilia.
Yeah, which is really important. And I hope that with the issues that Abi Olajuwon has actually raised, the ministry or NOC or NBBF, whoever is responsible for the salaries, the bonuses, or whatever welfare, they have to actually listen to her. So she's based in the US, and what that thing is sending the wrong signal to everywhere across the world that we really can't trust our administrators. When they make promises, they don't fulfill it. So if they are listening, they just have to look into these issues of salaries, issues, unpaid bonuses. It's not really looking good. So we should be celebrating the Tigers.
I have said it, Cecilia,
and not talk about
it. I've said it, and the MBBF, they know that I call them out. I do all the time, from Musa Kida to the general manager to Olumide Oyedeji.
Okay.
I said, it's the leadership problem, so we can know people to hold accountable. So I saw Musa Kida at the Olympics. I spoke to Musa Adamu, the general manager, and they said, okay, when these sort of things come out, give us calls. I've called Musa Adamu. I know he's going to call me back after this show. We need to bring him on the show, explain what's going on.
Yes.
Why do we get these sort of ugly stories all the time? You pay A, you don't pay B, and now you've removed the coach from the WhatsApp group for the team. Coach Reina has come out to explain that she doesn't represent the group and what they stand for, something about the culture. It's unfair. If she feels she has been treated unfairly, you don't beat her out of what she was part of, because as an assistant, she contributed to the thing that we achieved at the Olympics.
All right, we'll leave it there. Of course, we know this discussion will definitely continue. Now, quickly talk about Samson Siasia returning to football after 5 years. Well, before that, let's listen to Brownie there. Some advice is good for Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is still in limbo. Napoli have already bought Lukaku. So Napoli has gotten Lukaku. So Osimhen is not part of Conte's squad. We don't know where it's going to end up with. But Brownie there has got some advice for him.
For me, like I said in my tweets since yesterday, I've been, a lot of people don't really understand what I'm saying. He's a young player. If he has an offer to Saudi and the Saudi club is about to shower him with money, for me, I will go. Why I'm saying that is because football doesn't have a pension. There's no pension in football. It's what you work today that you're going to live on tomorrow. So, we have not really seen a concrete, offer from Chelsea, and Chelsea cannot pay what he's asking for. So, if Saudi is on the table, for me, I will go, because I don't know if any other offer is on the table apart from Saudi and China. Saudi and Chelsea. There is no other offer on the table. So
take the one that is on the table. What do you think? I mean,
like Ide said, there is no pension, and you can only play to a certain age.
Yeah.
Before Igalo even went to Manchester United, a club in China had wanted to buy heavily 600,000 pounds weekly, but it didn't. But eventually went there. Last season, Al Hilal of Saudi they offered Osimhen £1 million per week. But of course, this whole drama, don't go and retire. My opinion, like Ide, I would definitely go, because you can only play for after the age of 35, 36, then you are no more. You are not at the peak of your career anymore. So my opinion, I feel even if it's temporarily, possibly, and the whole drama that has ensued this transfer saga, I feel he just needs to go somewhere he can just make good money.
Go to somewhere. I hope he's not coming for you. Austin, I mean, we know Osimhen how, because right now he's on fire. When you talk to me, go on social media and, kind of diss whoever is talking to him. I mean, I remember when the agent of his teammate talked about he may end up in Saudi Arabia, and his response it's not something he can even say out. But then this Saudi Arabia thing that Brandon Day has also raised, I mean, Babajide is joining and singing the praise. Okay, since Chelsea is not working out, why not go there? Secure the bag. You join that here.
I think for you to play in an obscure league as a good footballer, you must have given to football what Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo have given to football. Osimhen is just coming up the ranks. He's one for the future. He's arguably the most sought after strikers right after Napoli won the league. But whatever happened has happened. I don't think he should go to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. It's tempting, the money is good, but there's just something about playing in Europe or in a league where people must talk about you every week. If you miss out of that, then your career starts dropping. Check now. When you talk about Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi, it's not about the kind of football they're playing now. Yeah. It is their personality. Yeah. Look at the award Cristiano received today is because of what he has done in the past in the UEFA Champions League. Mm-hmm. So for Victor Osimhen, if you go to Alli in Saudi Arabia, you stay there 1 year and nobody remembers you anymore. That's almost the end of your football. So I understand the fears of the young man. But hey, the money is tempting, Cecilia.
It's tempting, but I wouldn't advise him to actually take the money at the detriment of his career. But I think he can actually, deadline is tomorrow.
Yes.
11 p.m. Okay, we'll see what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. Quickly, before we go, let's talk about Samson Sias. He's returning to football. He's ready to coach again. Take a listen to him.
I did not take money from anyone. What I did was talking with a match fixer that I did not know was a match fixer. He offered me a job in South Africa and Australia. I was very excited that I was going to go back to Australia because I played there before. So I didn't follow the right protocols. What I was supposed to do was to get an agent, someone to talk on my behalf, to deal directly with that match agent. So at the end of the day, I want to say it's a lesson for everyone that is, in the sports or coaching, to actually have an agent to talk for you on your behalf. If I had done that, I wouldn't be sitting here today. So, thank God that I've never collected any bribe from anyone before. So I just want to let people know that there was a mistake for FIFA banning me for life. It was a life ban. But at the end of the day, I believe the Nigerian NFF and Nigerian government was supposed to kind of call me to decide. We had about this allegation. What can we do to help you? but nothing like that actually came into play. So I have to do everything on my own with the support of the chef of Lebanese and the star, Mr. Caro, and our lawyers in Switzerland. We revised the life ban to 5 years, and the 5 years I've done the last couple of weeks. So I'm back to my job, what I know how to do most, and I'm ready to work, not only in Nigeria, I can go other places.
Yeah, we have to go. Austin, just a quick one on Siasia, then we'll wrap up the show. Yeah, director is on my neck right now.
I'm super duper excited. He's back to the game. Doesn't look like he's been through anything.
Yeah.
I think that's an inspiring story. When you're down, pick yourself back up. And he might tell a beautiful story. He might go on to coach a team now and win a major trophy, and everyone will start celebrating him again. That's really inspiring. That's the show. In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember to keep talking sports.
Babajide, I mean, it's a pleasure doing this with you.
Thank you so much.
Just one word on something, Siasia.
Okay, so I think he's a fighter. 5 years, you want to imagine 5 years up forward, that's 2029, not to be engaged in what you love most. And he has come back, he said, no, I want to do this again. Kudos to him.
Yeah, kudos to him. On that note, thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Have a good night rest. Bye.